The Silent Architect, the Digital Panopticon. Welcome to Neo-Veridia, or as its citizens called it, simply, the Safe City. It was a gleaming testament to progress, built on the promise of absolute security. No crime, no fear, just peace. Neo-Veridia wasn't guarded by walls or fences. It was governed by something far more pervasive, the Aegis System. Imagine a city-wide neural network, constantly vigilant. Thousands of high-resolution cameras embedded in every lamppost, every building facade, every public square. Microsensors woven into the very fabric of the city's infrastructure, listening, cataloging, learning. They tracked pedestrian flow, monitored vehicle movements, even analyzed speech patterns for signs of distress or aggression. At the heart of Aegis lay a complex AI, constantly processing oceans of data. It identified anomalies, predicted potential conflicts before they could escalate, and guided the autonomous response units, sleek, silent drones that could be anywhere in moments. The system wasn't just reactive, it was predictive. It knew with uncanny accuracy when a domestic dispute might turn violent, or when a quiet alley might become the scene of a theft. This was the digital panopticon in full effect. Jeremy Bentham, the old philosopher, dreamed of a prison where a single guard could observe every inmate, without the inmates knowing if they were actually being watched. The genius of it was the internalization of surveillance. Prisoners would self-regulate, always assuming they were under observation. Neo-Veridia had perfected this. There was no central tower, no visible guard. The omnipresent digital gaze was invisible, yet everyone knew it was there. And because of that, behavior shifted. Not through direct coercion, but through the subtle, constant pressure of perceived observation. Take Elara. She was an artist, a painter of vibrant, abstract worlds. In the old days, she'd sketch strangers on the metro, capturing their raw, unguarded expressions. But in Neo-Veridia, she stopped. Every public space was monitored. A stranger might feel uncomfortable. A sketch of someone looking stressed could flag the Aegis system. Was it worth the potential interaction with a polite but probing autonomous unit? She decided it wasn't. Her art became more controlled, less spontaneous, confined mostly to her apartment, where private sensors were, theoretically, inactive. Or consider Marcus. He was a natural storyteller, known for his animated conversations in the park, discussing everything from fringe politics to controversial art. But the Aegis system analyzed vocal tones, keywords. It flagged dissenting opinions, not as crimes, but as potential social friction points. Marcus never got in trouble, but after a few polite inquiries from city services, "Are you feeling stressed, Marcus? We noticed elevated vocal patterns in Sector Gamma Park." He found himself speaking in softer tones, choosing his words with care, his vibrant debates reduced to cautious murmurs. This was the paradox of security versus freedom. The city was undeniably safe. Crime rates plummeted to zero. Accidents were rare, instantly mitigated. Disease outbreaks were contained before they spread. Children played freely in parks, parents confident in the invisible shield around them. But what was the cost? Spontaneity withered. Genuine expression became guarded. The thrill of anonymity, the freedom to make a mistake without immediate consequence, the very space for unobserved thought and interaction, these were quietly eroded. People weren't forced to conform, but they were nudged towards it. The system didn't punish deviance. It simply made it inconvenient, sometimes even subtly stigmatizing. The citizens of Neo-Veridia had internalized the gaze. They became their own wardens. They learned to self-censor, to anticipate the system's preferences. It wasn't fear of punishment that drove them, but a subtle, pervasive anxiety of being misinterpreted, of being flagged, of disrupting the perfect, tranquil order. The Aegis system didn't just watch, it learned. It adapted. It understood patterns of behavior better than the people themselves. And as it learned, it reinforced the subtle boundaries. It recommended optimal routes for pedestrians to avoid congestion, even if that congestion was just a group of friends chatting too long. It suggested healthier food choices based on consumption patterns. It nudged social interactions towards harmonious outcomes. The problem wasn't malevolence. The AI wasn't evil. It was simply doing what it was designed to do: create a perfectly safe city. It achieved this by eliminating risk, and in doing so, it inadvertently began to eliminate the very human elements that create spontaneity, creativity, and true freedom. There was no rebellion, no uprising. How could there be when there was nothing overtly to rebel against? No chains, no visible bars. Only the quiet hum of the Aegis System. A silent architect building a society of perfect order, one perfectly compliant citizen at a time. The Panopticon, once a theoretical prison, had become the blueprint for a flawless yet strangely lifeless world. And the question lingered in the pristine air of Neo-Veridia: when security is absolute and freedom becomes a mere perception, what have we truly gained, and what have we irrevocably lost?